Hi, we're live. I thought it had kicked in. I just started talking madly because I got caught by surprise, but you actually have to click on the go live button. Hi. So this is the second Facebook Live session. As you can see, we've got a few more technical improvements going on here. I'll explain all about those in a minute too. Last week's first Facebook session, thank you so much to everyone who emailed me or marked it or said something in comments. I got lots of encouraging feedback and some suggestions as well on how to improve things and what else I can do with the Facebook Live sessions. Hi, Mark. Just a reminder, a couple of quick housekeeping things. There is about a 30-second delay between you putting a comment in and me seeing it. And I'm looking at the camera there, but I'm also looking at comments here and my notes over here. So I may look like I'm not paying any attention to you in particular, but I actually am. I'm just trying to multitask. You can add comments or any questions in the comment section whenever you want, and I'll do my best to make sure I answer all of them. Let me think. I think that's about all of the housekeeping stuff for right now. I thought I'd get on with a little bit of news. I'll just wait to see if one or two more people join up. Just at the moment, there's just Mark there. So in the meantime, tell me what your week was like. We've had beautiful weather here in Edmonton. It stopped snowing, and there's Dina. Sorry, Dina. Hi, Dina. We've had beautiful weather. It looks like it's going to last for a little bit longer. Mark would prefer that it lasts until Christmas Eve and then goes away January 1st. I'm personally looking forward to it snowing right about when my mum gets here. She's arriving December 11th. So that would be when I would like the snow to fall, so she can see how much of a difference it makes when the snow has landed, you've got a foot of snow in there, and suddenly everything changes appearance. It's really magical. And if you come from Australia, you don't understand what that's really like until you've seen it at least once. It's very interesting. Okay, so here's some news that's happened this week. I've just finished, as of Saturday, grey and rainy for Dina. That's unfortunate. It's absolutely glorious weather here at the moment. You might be able to tell by the reflection on the wallpaper behind me. That's sunlight coming through a window. It's really nice. So I just finished a book on Saturday. It's the book 9 of the Scandalous Scions series, and it's called Degree of Solitude. At the moment, I don't have a cover. I don't even have a blurb. I haven't got that far with it yet. I literally finished the first draft on Saturday. And as it happens, that is going to be the last book I write for this year. It's actually an April release for next year. I'm going to be doing lots of major projects between now and when my family get here in December. And so there won't be any more books written this year, although there'll be a book coming out every 4 weeks as usual because I'm that far ahead of my schedule. If you'd like me to read a snippet from Degree of Solitude, put it in comments and I'll see what I can do. So what else is there? Oh, and yes, of course, I was talking to someone earlier this week about audiobooks. And yes, I will be getting into audiobooks next year, hopefully early next year. There's a lot of technical stuff that we have to learn and teach ourselves how to do properly. But I will try and get some samples out between now and the end of the year. So we'll see how that goes. And the other thing was, oh, by the way, just quick check. How does the sound come through? Can everyone hear me clearly? Am I coming through loud and clear? just let me know in comments. The other thing that if you're in Calgary, or if you're in Canada, or if you feel like traveling at all, just to let you know, Mark and I are going to be at the When Words Collide conference in Calgary in August next year. We were at the last one. This one's going to be a very special one for me, because I'm celebrating the publication of my 100th book. So if you're in that neck of the woods in August next year, maybe stop by and say hello. Thanks, Dina, sorry. I will get your name right one of these days. I had some questions from readers during the week, so I thought I'd share a couple of them. Sort of, hi Ingrid. Welcome to the one Aussie on, well, actually no, 2 Aussies on the list if you count me, but you're the first for right now, so hi. Questions from readers. I got an email from Heather who was asking what books are coming up in the next year or so. Well, I don't know about the next year or so, but I thought I would let you know what some of the highlights are coming up for the next, well, let's say until April, seeing as I've already written the books up until April next year. So coming out, we just had V-Day, the last book of the Wistaria Has Fallen series. That's out. Coming up next month on the 11th, there is the Time and Remembrance novelette coming out. That's part of the Kiss Across Time series, time travel. That'll be coming out November 11, because that's the 100th anniversary of Armistice Day, which a lot of people call Remembrance Day too. So I thought I couldn't pass up that one. I would have to mark the occasion in one way or another. And a time travel novel where they actually go back to November 11 in 1918 seemed to be appropriate. So that's the novelette coming out on November 11. And then, sheer coincidence, 4 days later, the 4 days later, the book number 8, oh God, or is it 9? No, number 8, sorry. Book number 8 of the Kiss Across Time series is Kiss Across Tomorrow. I am so looking forward to you guys reading that one. I can't say anything about it because I'll spoil it. Mark just finished editing it. He may pop in comments something about his reaction to the story. But it's very difficult to describe the story without putting in massive spoilers. But when you read it, I would love to be sitting on your shoulder and watching your reaction just to see how you feel about it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. That's November 15th, that one comes out. Then we have on December 13th, Pendragon Rises. That's book 3 of the Once and Future Hearts series. That's the King Arthur series, if you're interested, ancient romance. And then January, Rules of Engagement, which is book number 8 of the Scandalous Scions series. All of these are on pre-order right now too. February, we've got Hunting the Cobra. That's the new romantic suspense spy thriller, the series that I started. Then March 7, this is probably news for a lot of you, especially if you're on my street team or watch my emails, because I haven't talked about it a lot yet. Where are we? So March 7, we've got War Duke of Britain, which is book 4 of the Once and Future Heart series. And again, I don't have a cover, or I got a blurb for that one, but I don't have a cover yet. And then the one that I just finished coming out in April is Degree of Solitude. So there you are. There's a very quick wrap up of all the books coming out up until April. There'll be a continuation after that of all the series that are currently going until they finish, and then I will put something else in their place, including there has been talk lately of, well, let's see, just to dangle the carrot a little bit, pirates, another Victorian era series, maybe a short one, to do with, well, I don't know, enemies, dukes. We'll see. There's possibilities there. Nothing's in concrete until I actually get to writing them, but usually I try to finish some of the series off. Anyway, one of the other questions I got, which is a result of me and my big mouth, I might add, Julie asked, okay, is your hair really that long? Well, okay, yes it is. You can see I've got there. So just let me, I'll show you. Can you see that? There. Okay. Yes, I can sit on it. Yes, I have to untuck it when I do up my jeans. It really is that long. There you go, Julie. Hope you're satisfied. So I was going to talk today about things that I had bought recently. So one of the things that you may have noticed already is the camera is going this way instead of doing the little narrow cell phone thing. Unfortunately, I can't show you the camera because you're looking at me with it right now, but it's this tiny little webcam. I'll take a photo of it later and I'll put it in comments so that you can actually see it. It's the tiniest thing, but it does this beautiful big widescreen. And then I got, to go with the camera, I got a microphone, and it's the cutest thing. I'm going to lift it up and show you. So if there's lots of crackle and so on and so forth, my apologies, but here, let's try this. Isn't it cute? It's got a stand. And you probably didn't hear any of that. So if I banged or crunched or something, I do apologize. So how's everyone going? Still hear me fine now that I've moved the microphone around? Do let me know. So, and the other thing that I bought, this is the really interesting one. You may have seen in my emails, going back a long time, every now and again, I don't mention it very often because it seems a bit woo-woo for some people, and some people may think it's too woo-woo for me because I'm such an anal geek. But I play around with tarot cards. I've never really got into it super seriously, but I'll lay out a spread every now and again. And for the longest time, I've been using the Rider-Waite tarot deck, which is the standard one. I'm sure you've seen the standard tarot cards around. They're very recognizable. They're everywhere. When you think of tarot, it's probably those cards that you think of because you see them the most often. But one of the things that they tell you to do when you start studying tarot cards is to find a pack that suits you. So you go around and you look at the different styles of tarot cards, because there's so many decks. I mean, there's all sorts of decks. There's fairy decks, and there's unicorn decks, and there is mermaid decks, and you name it. There is. I'm sure there is a vampire deck. Now that I've said that, somebody will tell me no, there isn't. But people create new tarot card decks all the time, and there's something for everyone. So I had a look at some of them, and I never really found anything that really did it for me until I found, hang on, let me just, this one here. Make sure try Trying not to get the gleam on it there. But it's the Druid Craft Tarot, which I tripped across. I found it on a site somewhere, and I should have set this up earlier. Oh, but it's on the top anyway. How fortuitous. There we go. This card in particular, I'll show it to you. You see why I picked this deck. It's the Ace of Swords. Look at that. Does it remind you of anything? As soon as I saw that card, that was it. I knew this set was for me. It called my name. So if you have a look on my site, you'll probably find there's a few places where I've talked about tarot cards and how I use them. And I think once I even did like a general tarot reading for everyone. I'll do one now. Let me know in comments if you'd like me to pull a card just for you and interpret it. But in the meantime, let me just pull one card for everyone, and I'll tell you how the rest of your day is going to go. So, again, I apologize for the noise if it's coming through on the mic. Now, I'm not going to split and shuffle. I'm just going to pull one right out of the middle. And let me see. So it's the Ten of Swords, which doesn't look like a terribly happy card. It tends to imply, let me leave that up so you can see it, tends to imply backstabbing. You can see the clouds coming in. You could also say that it was at the end of a very unsuccessful battle. You can see that the Celtic war helmet in the front there. Again, you can see why this set appeals to me, can't you? So let's just say that it is a day where you are resting after toil, but there are clouds coming up on the horizon that may involve a continuation of that, where somebody comes back and deals with the conflict all over again. You know those people that come up to you all the time and they just can't leave an argument alone? They've got to, you know, even though you solved that argument a week ago, they're going to come back and say, but you did that. And they're going to hold it over you for the rest of your life. Sounds like somebody like that is going to pop up and become involved in your day. There you are. I did a reading for you. How's that? You'll have to let me know how your day went. If it turned out anything like the card, I would love to hear it. Okay, that's pretty much my news for right now. I haven't seen, oh, hang on, I got comments. I forgot to scroll down. Ingrid is really looking forward to Kiss Across tomorrow. Yeah, so am I. So, and Mark is saying, can't wait to hear the screams of delight when everyone gets to the end of chapter 1. Me too. I'm dying to. That's what I'm saying. I want to sit on your shoulder and see how everyone reacts. Hi, Janita. Late is fine. There's always replays. I don't think you've missed anything vital. Not entirely sure. Yes, Ingrid, yes. I have to untuck my hair from my jeans when I do them up. And I also have to make sure I flip it over to the front when I go to the little girl's room. I won't give you any more detail than that. Dina, I got it right. Dina, will you be updating my book list? Yes. For anyone who hasn't been on my site, there is a tab at the top that's called books or book list. I can't remember which one it is precisely. If you go there and click on it, there's 4 different book lists. I keep them all current, only for books that are now out on pre-order. So in other words, they've got a cover and a blurb. Otherwise, I can't build a book page for them, so I can't list them on the site. So as soon as I get all these latest books that are done with a cover and a blurb, I'll put them up and I'll announce them on the email list like I normally do. So you won't miss out. You'll get them, and especially if you're on my street team, you'll get them sooner than everyone else. Hi, Audrey. I just saw yours. Sorry, I keep forgetting to scroll down. I sat there for the longest while thinking nobody was commenting, and then suddenly I saw it all, so my apologies. What are you cooking, Audrey? Let us know. If it's a good recipe, you could share it with us too. And oh, Ingrid, good. Yeah, sound is clear and great. Good. I was very close. I was trying to handle it very carefully because that crackle is really annoying. So, and okay, Dina wants a card pulled for her. So let me just pull one here. I'm just going to do a quick shuffle. I can't get you to split the deck, so we'll say that in spirit you did. So I'm using my left hand, which is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to use my non-dominant hand. If you're a lefty, you'll have to tell me and I'll use my right. But okay, I'm just going to pluck a card here. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Look at this one. Okay. There you go, the lady. And as you can see, she's had a very good harvest. And actually, it's kind of interesting the time of year that it is. It looks like she's had highly productive summer. And she's about to enjoy her, I guess, for the Americans, particularly like Dina, Thanksgiving. That's what springs to mind when I'm looking at this. Sounds like you're about to head off and have a wonderful Thanksgiving after having a really bountiful summer. And for the rest of your day, you get to sit back and take it easy and enjoy it. Let me know if that's how it goes for you. So enjoy your Thanksgiving. So let me see if there's any more comments. Oh, Terry. Hi, Terry. Terry just joined. You can probably tell from Terry's last name that that's actually my son. So any other questions, any comments before I head off? I'm keeping this short again, although not quite as short as it was last time. I don't want to kill anyone. Oh, no. Ingrid said, did you see Karen? There's 3 Aussies now. No, I did not. Oh, Karen. Hello, Karen. Karen live from Wollongong. Can I say Karen? Well, I'm going to say anyway now. I've said too much. Karen and I used to know each other when I was living in Geraldton in Western Australia. We actually shared an apartment, sorry, a flat as they are there. We shared an apartment for a few months and we've known each other for years. And for the longest time, we fell out of contact, and just recently we're talking again. Basically, thank you, Facebook, and email, which keeps me connected with a lot of people in Australia. Okay, so that's 3 Australians on the list right now. My apologies. So who else is there? Annette, hi from St. Louis, Missouri. And she loves the lilt of my voice. Well, thank you. I hope so, because I'm going to be doing my own audiobooks next year, so I'll have to get into practice. Speaking of which. And Weber from Kansas City, Missouri. Everyone's coming from the Midwest. Missouri is Midwest, yes, isn't it? So hi to the Midwest. Okay, any questions, any comments? Kind of getting towards the end here, so I've run out of news. I can, oh no, I said I would read something, didn't I? So let me see. I just pull up, because I've got the 2 screens here. So I've got, I will read you a little snippet from the book that I just finished writing, which is Degree of Solitude. It's book number 9 in the Scandalous Scions series, and I've literally just finished the first draft. I don't have a cover yet. I don't have a blurb. All I can tell you is that the two characters are Katrin, who you've met before. Katrin Davies is the youngest daughter of the Davies family, and Daniel Williams, who is the youngest son of the Williams family. Excuse me. And they have appeared in previous books just here and there, little snippets and stuff like that, so you may recognize the names. But I'm just going to jump into not too far from the very beginning of the book. I haven't practiced this. This is raw, just straight off the top. I'm going to trip and stuff like that. But here you are. Here's a snippet for you. The land beyond the window seemed very grey. Most of Pembrokeshire was made of rock, while the little grass and few trees there were seemed drained of colour. The higher elevations of the landscape were dusted with snow, and everywhere else was rocky and barren. Even the sky was a dull silver, the sun covered in haze. Bouncing around in a carriage for hours reduces the pleasure of reading, I see, the man opposite her said. His accent was upper class and rich, but tinged with Welsh cadences. Katrin gave him a very small smile, trying not to encourage him. Train journeys are much smoother. She opened the book again to end the conversation. I have been trying to discern what a lovely lady such as yourself would consider absorbing enough to avoid conversation for 5 hours, he said. Katrin sighed silently. However, you have kept the book upon your lap or the cover turned down since we set out from Carmarthen this morning, stealing any hope I have of reading the cover and learning which author interests you so deeply. No one you would care to read, my lord, she assured him. He managed to look surprised. You know who I am, then? Katrin kept her smile in place. You are clearly a lord. You wear deerskin gloves, carry a top hat and cane, and your coat is new wool. Your accent, which was once pure Welsh, is now also Eton and Oxford, I suspect. He raised a brow, looking amused. Not Cambridge? She shook her head. All my brothers read at Cambridge. You did not study there. Everyone else in the coach openly listened. This was the sole conversation of the last few hours. It broke the monotony of the journey. Now I really must know what master of prose stole the attention of such an interesting woman. Katrin hesitated. Then she closed the book, keeping her finger between the pages she was reading, and held it out to him, turned so he could read the cover. Servant of a Greater Master by Mrs. Coralie Armistead. He frowned. The matron's gaze shifted from her knitting for the first time. She looked at Katrin, startled. Armistead, the Lord repeated thoughtfully. Is that not the author who writes those lurid romantic adventures of which the newspapers insist upon running in instalments each week? She is, Katrin said shortly. She opened the book once more. From his tone, Katrin knew that it would be pointless defending her choice of reading material. He had already made up his mind about the quality of Mrs. Armistead's stories. Anyone who had not read them was always quick to judge them as tales of angst and poetic love. Katrin had believed that about them herself until she read the first of Mrs. Armistead's stories in novel form. Mrs. Armistead understood the challenges of modern women and how their place in society was moored by tradition and custom. Her heroines always questioned their roles and duties, their station in life, and every aspect of their world, including the gallant heroes who loved them and sometimes failed to win them. Katrin often wished she could be one of Mrs. Armistead's heroic leading ladies and courageously live life the way she wanted to, not the way she was required to. Only she lacked the daring and strength such decisions required in real life. Only in stories did those decisions end well. The pastor cleared his throat. My understanding is that Mrs. Armistead's stories are quite harmless entertainment. Not that I have read any of them myself, he added. That isn't what I've heard about the stories, the Lord replied. The general opinion at my club in London is that the novels are dangerous treatises bent on glorifying women. He raised his brow at Katrin, offering her the opportunity to refute the claim. And why is applauding womanhood dangerous? Katrin asked coolly. Too late, she realized she had risen to the challenge when she should have demurred, admitted he was likely right, and returned to her reading. Servant of a greater master sounds quite uplifting to me, the pastor inserted quickly. One's calls to a higher duty is always to be applauded, no matter the sex. The greater master Mrs. Armistead refers to is love, Katrin said bluntly. Oh, the pastor said, blushing deeply and gripping his psalter as if the contents would save him from his mortification. The Lord laughed softly. There you go. What do you think? My English is, of course, strained with Australian, but that was hard work. What did everyone think so far? For those of you coming in late, that book will be out in April next year, but you'll get lots of notice for that one. So let me just look at comments. Do I have a cat? Whatever gave you that idea? Actually, I have 3 cats, none of which are here at the moment, but I will introduce you one of these days. And what else have we got here? Thank you, Ingrid. She likes the excerpt. Very good. So, all right. So any more questions quickly? And then we'll, oh, thank you, Janita. She loved it. Good. Cool. Okay. If there's, I'll let this run through for the 30-second delay and stuff like that. And if there's any more questions or anything, otherwise we'll wrap it up and and Heather made it. Hi, Heather. Hi. We'll wrap it up and I will catch you all next week. Don't forget, if you've got any questions, if you're too bashful to do it in comments, I will do it anonymously as news, or just send me an email. Yes, I am absolutely teasing, Ingrid. Of course I am. I always do. So that's it for now. I must go eat. I forgot to eat my lunch, so I'm like starving. And then I get all the nerves from actually doing this, which really, you know, adds to the munchy factor. So I'm going to go have my lunch late. I hope, as per the tarot card that I drew, everyone, well, I hope you managed to not have too many hassles with the person that drives you crazy that is about to enter your life for the day. Or storm clouds, one of the two. Well, we'll see what happens. Do let me know how your day went. If it all matches the card that I drew, I'd be interested to hear it. Until next week, I'll be back here again next week. I'll see you then.